Hey everyone, Happy New Year. Hope you had a beautiful holiday. Thanks so much for tuning in to another episode of Buzz. Actually, we're calling it now the Best Dental Marketing Show. We're going to go with the same name as the book, Best Dental Marketing. So still same format, topics, amazing guests as Buzz Dental. But so whenever you're listening to this, it'll probably be Best Dental Marketing. But thanks again for tuning in. We got a huge beast of an episode today. We're going to be talking about 25 dental marketing strategies for an epic 2025. Let's get right into it. So let's begin with number one, which is for you to focus on conversion rate optimization, otherwise known as CRO. Now, the conversion rates on your website for your practice are really important because just by increasing your conversion rate optimization, you'll without question increase new patient bookings, obviously, in growth and revenue and all this good stuff. And so CRO is basically the percentage of people that visit your website that book an appointment. Such a huge KPI, key performance indicator to track and monitor to improve. And there's a bunch of different factors that you could implement to increase your CRO. I want to give you the most powerful one that we've seen from most websites. And this is to use imagery on your website in the header section, either unique custom images of you and the team or beautiful stock photos, which are fine as long as they're premium, and use imagery where the eye lines of the person or people in these images are looking towards your desired call to action, right? Your book an appointment button or schedule online now or reserve my experience, whatever your call to action button says, you want to direct the eye lines of website visitors to that desired call to action. And I know it sounds weird because this is a virtual experience, but people don't want to be looked at either in person or online, right? So if someone lands in your website and all the eye lines in those pictures, especially in that first image, are looking towards a website visitor, you're going to have higher bounce rates, meaning people bounce off the website. It's like if you walked into a restaurant tonight and everyone stopped eating and looked up at you, some people might get a little and run out the door, right? And so we want people to feel comfortable, calm, and stay on your website to learn more. So by directing the eye lines away from looking at the visitor and towards your CTA, that's a really huge thing for CRO increases. And I'm going to be sharing some examples here with some brilliant brands out there, such as Purple Mattress, Titleist, Glow Yoga app, which is great. I mean, there's so many great brands out there that have really, really creative, custom, unique imagery, and their conversion rates are through the roof. My favorite one for most practices is where a patient sitting in your chair in the operatory and the dentist is usually, next, looking at the patient. There's a nice interaction. You're smiling at each other. And between your eye lines is your CTA, right? Like book an appointment. And what that'll do is you'll direct the lines, the attention of website visitors to that desired call to action button. It's so important. And so we've seen huge jumps just by swapping out photos when moving the call to action button. Moving on to number two, build authority with trust signals. So trust signals are all of the logos from the associations and groups that you're a part of, right? Whether it's AGD, AACD, AAID, ADA. Some of you are COIS, Cranham Cope Digital Dentistry, anywhere you're getting CE credits. You want to source all of your logos that you're a part of that you could use, right? Other ones could be CEREC Provider, Invisalign Elite, Gold Provider, whatever it is, right? Clear Aligners Association, all of the logos that you could use, you or anyone from your team, and source those, and then put those directly under your header section on your website. So on number one, we spoke in the header section about the images. Number two, this tip also is focused on your conversion rate optimization. Trust signals are so important for people to be put at ease to book an appointment in a dental practice. And we recommend having a bunch where they scroll left to right slowly across the screen. And depending on your taste and style and your graphic designer for the website, sometimes you want to change the color palette of all of those logos to match the color palette of your dental office logo. Beautiful. Otherwise, you just leave them as is. It just depends. Sometimes they look really nice either way. and maybe ask for a couple options with your website developer just to make sure you really love the look of it. But that's a great opportunity to show off all of your clinical excellence and experience. Some of you have all this buried in your bio, at the bottom of your bio, all the associations and the accreditations and awards. Great, but bring those to the forefront directly under the header section on your homepage. It's an absolute game changer for increasing your conversion rate optimization as well. All right, moving into number 3. This is to film a homepage video with a ChatGPT script. So most of you listening have already experimented with ChatGPT and have an account. If you do not, please pause and stop this podcast immediately and go create a ChatGPT account. It's an absolute must, not only for your dental practice marketing moving forward, but basically all aspects of your practice and probably life. It's a game changer. So we've always talked about having homepage videos on a website. Statistics show that by adding one homepage video on a dental website, you'll increase your conversion rates by 80%. Yes, one video, 80%. And so a lot of the friction with offices with doing these videos on their own is we don't know what to say. What do we cover? What do we highlight? Well, ask ChatGPT to give you the best script, right? Type in there, our Boulder, Colorado cosmetic dental office wants to focus on dental implants. This is how I became a dentist. This is what makes our practice so unique. This is what we love to do. This is what the patient experiences. Boom, boom, boom. Give ChatGPT all the prompts and all the information about your practice. Work with it. Obviously, you want some editing and looking over to make sure it's great, but ChatGPT will do all the heavy lifting for you. This is like having the best advertising agency of all time in your back pocket 24/7, 365. So leverage ChatGPT. So once you get that script for the video, we're not going to talk really about AI videos right now in terms of like content creation, but you could go in that route, and we'll talk about AI in a minute here. But I encourage you to film that video on your own. Excuse me, whether that's on a mobile phone or with a professional crew, preferably under 3 minutes, and just really, really, really focus on creating a powerful homepage video for your website. Because this piece of content, if done right, will convert for you in all year 2025. One video you could film for free. If it's optimized properly and embedded on your website with the YouTube video, it will be your most compelling piece of content you capture all year. Okay. So people say that the play button on websites is the most compelling call to action on the internet, right? So if they hit play and watch a 2-minute or so video of you sharing your passion for clinical excellence, giving a tour of the office, maybe some patient testimonials, it's an absolute game changer. Now just think about this. 1 minute of video is equivalent to 1.8 million words. Now, I know that's anecdotal, but bear with me for a second. At 30 frames per second, you get the equivalent impact of 30,000 words every second of video. Now multiply that by how many seconds long your video is, and that gives you a good idea of how many words your video is worth. And just think about it, right? People remember 20% of what they hear, 30% of what they see, and an amazing 70% of what they see and hear. And here's the data, right? In 2025, video will account for over 80% of all consumer internet traffic. Mobile ads will grow 5 times faster than desktop. Landing pages with videos, like I said, lead to 80% more conversions. And this is really, really important, you guys. Websites that have video content throughout the entire website see an increase of 88% time spent on the website. The more time people spend on your website, the higher your conversion rate optimization will be. Think about it. If someone goes to a car dealership and they spend 3 hours there, odds are they're probably buying a car or they're pulling out with a car. If you're there for 5 minutes, no, right? And so you want to keep people engaged and have a nice long experience in your website, and video is the most powerful way to do this. Last note about the video content, because there's a lot of topics and ideas we can cover with this. Make sure that you're thinking mobile first, right? So when you're capturing this content, you're not going to fill up a big screen. You don't have to like be Spielberg here. It's just on the mobile device, right? So how will the thumbnail look? How will the video look? What would the backdrop that we're choosing perform on mobile? And you're just focusing on right now your home page video, right? We're going to talk about other video content in a second, but your homepage video for your website is without question the most important piece of content that you will capture in all of 2025 and beyond. All righty, let's move into number 4. And this is for you to own dentist near me. The search near me, right? So many people look for Invisalign provider near me, emergency dentist near me, best dentist near me. Near me searches is huge. And so, Google over the years has been 90, 80% of search. Now it's around 50% of search. And so SEO, which traditionally stood for search engine optimization, is now being called search everywhere optimization, because it's not just Google, right? People are looking on ChatGPT for the best dentist. They're looking on Instagram, on YouTube, on LinkedIn, right? So there's all these different places people could search now. But I want you to focus big picture. How could you own best dentist near me searches? And I'm going to give you a couple quick ideas on this, okay? First off, you want to have quality content on your website. It's so important to have a website that's filled with unique, fresh, relevant content that's descriptive of your area, your city, your services. You want to have good session durations on your website. If you have, people visiting your website for 10 or 15 seconds and bouncing, that's not good. So you want to have a really well-designed website where people are staying for a long time. So important to do that, okay? And also, besides just having a beautiful website, you want to have quality local links pointing back to your website, which is really important. But I will say this, the trends are pointing in this direction. If you're going to be trying to own near me searches, especially in an AI world where a lot of searches now are on ChatGPT, because as of a few weeks ago, everyone's iPhone now has ChatGPT in the device. Basically, Siri is using ChatGPT. So all these voice searches are going to explode exponentially moving forward, where a lot of people will just search on their phone and it'll be a one result, or maybe 3 result world. Whereas opposed to Google, you have pages and pages. A lot of these results moving forward are going to be 1, maybe 3 results, right? We are finding that YouTube content is going to be even more important now than ever, because the large language models, right? ChatGPT, Perplexity, Gemini, they're all saying that YouTube is a big source of their wisdom. They're all crawling and scraping YouTube for a lot of their insights. And by the way, they're not hiding it, right? They're not denying it. It's along, YouTube along with Reddit and Wikipedia and a lot of other sources around the internet they're crawling, but YouTube is a beast of a platform for this. So while I previously mentioned in this episode the importance of the homepage video, which is on YouTube, and embed your YouTube video from your channel on your website, focus on consistent video content moving forward, right? If you want to be doing a lot of Invisalign in your area, do a standalone video on YouTube for Invisalign, right? Talk about the services, talk about the procedure, maybe some patient testimonials around Invisalign. We're also finding that videos that have stories or anecdotes are going to be really, really powerful as well for your ChatGPT results. Okay, so owning near me searches is going to be a combination of on-site optimization, off-site optimization with quality links, local links, great traffic. Also, people searching for your practice is really important. So there's always benefits. Let's just say you sponsor a local event in the community. Well, even if you meet a lot of people and they see your banner at the stadium, that's still good because you're going to get a number of people searching on Google for your practice name. That's also helpful for search engine optimization. The amount of brand inquiries around a brand, around a practice also help SEO. So there's over 200 or so factors for SEO that'll impact your rankings, but I just wanted to touch on a couple really, really important aspects of your organic search results. And I feel that your YouTube channel, your YouTube videos, consistent uploads to your YouTube channel are going to be so important in 2025. All right, moving into number 5. This is to fix location settings in your Google Ads. So first off, let me just say, I don't know of a practice in North America that should not be running Google Ads right now. Whether you're a huge cosmetic dentist in Beverly Hills or a smaller practice in the middle of Indiana, running Google Ads is still a powerful way to attract new patients to your practice, right? Really, really important. So with that being said, let's say a lot of you are running Google Ads, but the performance isn't where it's at. You're not getting enough new patients. You feel like you should be getting more calls. Usually we have found that the location settings in Google Ads is what's broken or what needs fixing, right? Because a lot of the time, most great agencies are going to write the copy right. They're going to use the right keyword phrases, audience, all the, write the ad. All the settings are going to be really spot on and great. We're assuming that. But the location settings is the one thing where like only you, the dentist owner, know, right? Like sometimes we'll launch a new ads campaign for an office and they're like, yeah, we could target like a 40-mile radius. I'm like, wow, that much? I would have guessed 10, right? And then other areas like big cities, it's way more targeted. And then you'll also know maybe you want to jump around to certain zip codes. So if it's not in a certain radius of your office, maybe you want to target some zip codes with certain demographics, maybe a lot of new home buyers or something like that in other areas. Only you're going to know these things. So make sure when you're launching these Google ads with a specialist, someone who knows how to run these ads professionally, properly, make sure you let them know exactly what's needed for your location settings and then track that. Sometimes a couple mile radius here or there added or pulled back can make all the difference in the world. It's so important. I can't tell you how many times we'll like pivot on an ad settings for locations and like immediately it all comes together. So really encourage you to focus on that this year. Make sure your ad settings in Google Ads is spot on. Number 6, leverage AI, artificial intelligence. I mean, the last couple of years, we've seen so many breakthroughs in AI, basically passing the Turing test. We're nearing AGI. I mean, ChatGPT, OpenAI. There are so many platforms to use. And some of you, there's some great AI platforms clinically in dentistry, obviously. But I just want to highlight a couple AI platforms that we're using now for clients and for our own marketing that are absolute game changers. I just want to mention a couple of my favorites. And clearly, by the time you're listening to this episode, we'll probably know of 15 more of them that are just as cool. And this is how exciting the AI space is now. Like I feel like every day I'm learning about a new platform or an app. These are some of my favorite ones. Well, first off, I mentioned already ChatGPT. It's kind of the best of the best, right? There's some great language models out there, but ChatGPT is an outlier. It's in a class of its own. And I highly recommend everyone listening right now or watching, because we're putting this up on YouTube, should have ChatGPT. It's so fun, doing our strategy sessions with an office and they're like, we've never tried ChatGPT, and they all download ChatGPT, and the next thing we know it, they're using it to craft content, come up with ideas, figure out today's holiday, all these things. There's an infinite amount of case uses for OpenAI ChatGPT. Some other AI platforms, I love Opus. Opus is a video content creation platform where you could repurpose and recreate short form vertical videos. So let's just say you do that 3-minute homepage video that I spoke about earlier. Well, you could drop the YouTube URL into Opus Pro or just upload the video, and it'll crank out like a bunch of really, really awesome AI vertical videos for you with a little bit of motion graphics and animation and effects. They're great. And then those videos you could use for Instagram Reels and stories and whatnot. So there's a lot of AI platforms out there that help with content creation, because some of you don't have a full-time editor or maybe an agency who's doing video editing. And so you want these tools where you could just easily repurpose and edit together content. Another one of my favorite platforms is 11 Labs. 11 Labs is the clear winner for audio and voiceover content in the AI world. It is amazing. Right? So some of you that don't really have the bandwidth or interest in doing your own video content, you could drop in a script and ideas into 11 Labs, and then you'll output voiceover content that sounds as good as human quality. You can't even tell it's AI. It's so good. You could also clone your own voice. We're starting to do this now with some dentists where we get permission to clone the voice, and then we could use that voice moving forward for an infinite amount of videos without having you to record it. So at the end of the day, listen, if you want to have the time and bandwidth to record these videos on your own, of course, that's great. Have fun. But leveraging these AI platforms like in 11 Labs will save you so much time, and it's just really, really good content. Okay. Some other AI platforms, Synthesia is a really cool video content creation platform. They have spokesperson. You could tell these are AI videos, but they're very good. And some of you might want to use just Synthesia for your video content initiatives. I mean, Fortune 100 brands are using this platform for their video initiatives, so it's fine for a practice. Really great. Just make sure the story and the scripting is spot on, and maybe customize the background and colors of the spokespersons with the AI to match your color palette of your office. But Synthesia is a great AI platform, and we're using that as well. Midjourney is one of the most popular AI platforms. Obviously, some of you are already using that. Midjourney is great, and there's a whole host of other platforms. Let me just go through my list. I might have. Oh yeah, Descript is a great platform for recording audio and doing some editing if you don't know how to do editing on your own. And you know what I will mention, because we're not going to talk about going live too much on this episode, but I do feel like going live in 2025 is going to be a huge advantage to people that want to. Going live, live video on Facebook and Instagram and YouTube. Restream is a really great platform that'll kind of sync all your platforms together. But on this list right now, I would have to say that the one I'm using most, that we're all using most, content managers and our editor, is probably Opus right now. Obviously, besides ChatGPT and 11 Labs. So, like I said, there's going to be a bunch of them. We have on our website, Dentainment, we have a free download, like 108 AI marketing ideas. So that's a great ebook download if you want some more resources. And then moving forward, clearly, we're going to be doing more podcasts, email newsletters, and posts about AI platforms. So stay tuned. All righty, number 7 is to host in-office seminars. Having these seminars is such a win across the board because no one's really doing them at offices. And so when someone visits your website and you have a button up there that says upcoming in-office seminars, it's a differentiator. It establishes you as a clinical expert. You're lecturing on this. There's more trust. They can meet you. They can see the team. They can see the office. In-office seminars is great. Some of our clients who have done these do them either monthly or quarterly. Usually it's on either sleep apnea or, smile makeover dental implants. And they're really, really powerful. I'd recommend either Thursday for lunch or early Saturday mornings seem like the two best ideal times to do this. And if you're going to be doing in-office seminars, probably you want to have a little offline, more traditional, old school legacy marketing advertising. So maybe it's a local magazine or a newspaper, especially if you're doing dental sleep apnea. And then obviously your social media, targeted ads, email newsletters. But I feel like a lot of the offices that do in-office seminars, they have an offline component to the marketing. And then you really want to do a targeted campaign on that specific service with a QR code to a landing page. So you could track all these initiatives. For ticketing for the in-office seminars, Eventbrite is great. These are free events, you're not charging, so it's free to use. And this is a good way for you to track who's coming, who's attending. And some of the trends we're seeing on these in-office seminars is, you might get 8, 10 people or so at these, which is cool. But we have found that like months later, they'll convert for like these big cases, right? You get some new patients out of it, which is great. But if you're doing these on like smile makeovers and implants, usually the feedback is they're not like jumping on that today to sign up and say, let's start, but it's kind of a long tail approach. But it's been a huge win across the board for offices doing in-office seminars. And it's fun. You put the reception area like a little lecture area. Plus, I encourage you to record these and get some content for social media. Some offices, we have one amazing client who did an in-office seminar on TMJ, recorded it, and now it's an evergreen video on YouTube off the website, and that's printing patients for the office. So it's kind of a one-time event, and they recorded it, and now it's working for them ongoing. Another little thing is maybe you want to order in breakfast or sandwich or drinks, coffee and stuff for patients from a local restaurant, cafe. Worst case is you're just getting some great social media content and supporting a local business. But would encourage you to beta test some in-office seminars in 2025. They're fun, they're unique, and they're really powerful for new patient success.
Hi, this is Matilda from 11 Labs, the incredible AI platform that Brad just mentioned. Pretty cool, right? I'm here to bring you tip number 8, showcase technology, and show off how cool this AI thing really is. Let's talk about how you can turn your dental tech into a star. Your patients might not know how advanced dentistry has become, so it's your job to wow them. Here are some creative ideas. CEREC same-day crowns. Did you know some CEREC machines can sing? Imagine posting a video of your CEREC machine singing happy birthday to a team member or patient. It's fun, memorable, and shows how innovative and quirky your practice is. Laser dentistry. Film a laser precision demo on something harmless, like engraving a message on a coffee bean or slicing through a sheet of paper without burning it. Talk about the precision and comfort it brings to procedures. 3D printing. Create a time-lapse video of a dental model being printed from start to finish. Add captions explaining how 3D printing is revolutionizing dentistry and making customized solutions faster and better. Virtual smile design software. Showcase a side-by-side transformation using your smile design software. Use a real patient case with their permission. Or create an example to show how patients can visualize their new smiles before committing to treatment. Tech in action. Record a day-in-the-life video of your tech at work, like your intraoral scanner or digital x-rays. Pair it with upbeat music and fun captions explaining how it makes dentistry faster, safer, and more precise. Interactive tech tours. Go live on social media and give a virtual tour of your technology. Let followers ask questions while you explain the amazing tools your office uses. By making your technology the star of your marketing, you'll build trust, spark curiosity, and inspire patients to choose your practice over the competition. So, get creative and start showcasing your tech today. And that's tip number 8 from me, Matilda. I'll turn it back over to Brad now for tip number 9, but come visit me anytime at 11 Labs and start using AI content for your dental practice marketing. There are a bunch of other voices to choose from, but let's be real, I'm the best.
Alrighty, crank it through these. Number 9 is to build local citations, right? Getting quality local links back to your website, your dental website, from local businesses, organizations, the Chamber of Commerce, sports groups or teams, or libraries, wherever you're supporting the local community, giving back. You always, you're not giving back or just for marketing, but if you're going to be part of the community and donate or help people, if you feel it's appropriate, try to always ask for a link back to your website, right? So clearly the Chamber of Commerce is the biggest layup of all time. I love the Chamber of Commerce because they're always supporting local businesses. That's their true north, their goal, their intention. And so if all you did was pay them the yearly fee to be a member of the Chamber, just for the local link back to your website, that alone is worth the SEO juice, right? Just the Chamber. Plus there's a bunch of other ancillary benefits joining the Chamber of Commerce, such as sponsoring other events. The email newsletters that go out with chambers are a great opportunity for you to pay them to be on those, featured on these email newsletters. One office we've worked with was advertising before they sold their office, advertising in the Chamber of Commerce weekly email newsletter. It was costing $40 a week to have a huge section of an email newsletter that went out to over 3,000 people. And that alone accounted for half the people that would show up to their sleep apnea seminars. It's unbelievable, right? So a lot of the time, you guys, you don't have to increase your Google ads budget to $1 gazillion, and that's the only answer. No, you want to look for some layups and opportunities that aren't even more money at all or nominal amount of money that could really have a big upside for you moving forward. And the Chamber of Commerce is one of those. But you all have opportunities and relationships right now where local businesses would be able to index your website and link back to you. And by getting local citations, this is one of the most important factors for your search engine optimization. So it's called PageRank, which is named after Larry Page, one of the co-founders of Google. And this has always been one of the most important factors for search engine optimization since Google launched, right? Because if you have quality local links pointing back to a website, that's a trust signal. That's a factor that will dictate showing that website to more people, right? And so by getting it, you don't need 100 of these, right? So your goal maybe is, get a couple dozen this year, and that alone will be really important. We have one office we work with. I think that they've solidified their first page, first result kind of solely on like dozens and dozens and dozens of links. Like every request that comes to the office we look at, we're like, yes, just ask for the link. And they've really doubled down on that. And it's like they've owned that first page, first result for a long time. And that's pretty darn hard to come by. And I could pretty much say that is like 80% of the heavy lifting. Really important. So as a team, think about how you want to support the local community, what businesses, what organizations you want to be a part of. And then once again, you're not doing it for the link. That's not the reason. But if you're already doing this anyway, clearly there's an opportunity for you to get more links back to your website, which at the end of the day will be huge for your search engine optimization. All right, everyone. Number 10. This is a great one. It is to share patient success stories, right? I mean, you are changing people's lives. Your patients love you, and they will become ambassadors to your practice. All you have to do is ask them, would you be open to doing a video testimonial or allowing us to share your story? One thing we're really starting to do now is highlight specific patients on a website. So instead of having all your success stories, all your testimonials on one page, maybe Mary T, one of your patients who had a beautiful experience and a smile design and you've changed her life, maybe Mary has her own website page. So in 2025, make it a goal, maybe one a month. Which patient success story can you capture and talk about and share this year? That's going to be huge. And video testimonials will be the absolute game changer, right? If you could share these success stories, video testimonials, absolutely the most powerful form of social proof. Capture those, right? Think about how those will compound and add up. You get 12 of those this year. I mean, your people will stay longer on your website and you'll have a massive lift in your conversion rate optimization. And you want to show before and after pictures and talk about the procedures and maybe do some voiceover. And, there's different ways to share patient success stories, whether they're sharing for you or you're looking at before and after pictures and talking about the specific procedures that the patient had done. However you deem appropriate to share these success stories is up to you, but just make sure to share them this year because it's really, really powerful moving forward for new patient conversion. Number 11 is one of my favorite ones to see in action, and it's to use Instagramification. So we all know when you go to like a trendy bar or a restaurant or hotel, they have these areas with like a neon sign and ivy where your people are always taking selfies and getting pictures and tagging those places on social media because the backdrop is so good, right? Like chefs around the world are serving hamburgers that look so amazing and big and delicious, knowing that like people are going to take a picture of it and tag the restaurant on social media. At your dental practice, if you feel appropriate and you have an area, turn somewhere in your reception area, preferably, into like a selfie station, a place that like people could take patient-generated content. One amazing client put a really great quote on the wall, and there's a beautiful green couch in front and flowers, and they're getting a decent amount of patient-generated content, meaning like a patient will sit down, get a picture taken, and then tag the location on social media. It's really fun. It's really powerful. I love the neon vibes, and there's ways to do it with like a clean, modern, simple, maybe white neon that's not like flashy and obnoxious. You could have a piece of artwork. I mean, it's up to you. Collectively as a team, think of ways to do this creatively. Maybe hire an interior designer to set this up for you. But by creating, you don't want to really call it like take picture here and have an arrow. Like it should be so obvious to anyone who's active on social media that they want to sit down and take a picture. And maybe have it where like there's a nice smile quote or a saying, because putting out good vibes, which we'll talk about again later, is so important on social media. So if there's a way to combine elements of great content where like you get like a really good area that looks beautiful, but the message is like aspirational and great, you'll get a lot more shares. And it really shouldn't be self-promotional in nature, meaning like, it's not going to be like your logo in this area or like tag us and write about it. It's really about like the patient and them putting out good vibes on their feed. And in turn, they'll just mention your practice, tag you, or say that they're at your office and check out the office. So it's a way to tap into scalable word of mouth marketing while at the same time putting out good vibes on the timeline. So implementing Instagramification in 2025, I think is going to be really fun and powerful. All righty, cranking away. Number 12 is to film video testimonials. I highlighted earlier to share patient success stories, but filming video testimonials is so important. Only use first names, not last names. We recommend holding the camera sideways horizontally, not vertically, because these video testimonials you're going to optimize and upload to your YouTube channel. Really important. Make sure to always get patient release form signed for these patient testimonials. And as soon as this is optimized properly and released, share it on social media, email it to people. Really, really important, okay? Really important to get this out there as soon as possible. Now, at the beginning of these videos when we record them, if possible, maybe have a little bit of movement at the beginning. So maybe someone waving or smiling or sitting in the chair. People browsing may not notice your video or mistake it for a static image if there's no motion in the beginning of your video. So it's a great way to do that. Choosing a great thumbnail will greatly increase the chances of your video being watched. So really be aware of how this will appear on YouTube and on social media. Choose a thumbnail really, really, really strategically. And video content is the most powerful form of social media content. Google owns YouTube. YouTube is the second largest search engine in the world. So video is the game changer, right? In 2025, make it a goal to capture regular video content. You'll be happy you did, and turn your patients into the ambassadors for your practice that you deserve, right? If you got one of these a month, it's going to be extraordinary. And then let's not forget, right? When you get these great video testimonials, they go to YouTube. Then you could repurpose them through Opus, that AI platform I talked about. Create micro content video pieces, short form video pieces for social media. Right now, short form video content, preferably under 21 seconds, is the most powerful form of video content out there. Short form. So you get the longer form for YouTube, the longer ones, embed those on your website, then use Opus to repurpose those into short AI clips for stories and reels, and you'll be off to the races, right? Lights, camera, patience. All right, moving into 13, feed the feed smiles. When I say that is put out good vibes, you guys. Really, these platforms, all platforms need more aspirational good vibes. And as a dental community, we should feel the obligation and the responsibility to share smile quotes, put out good vibes, put out feel good stories of your patients, because it really plays well into the focus of your services and how you're changing and improving people's lives. And plus, it's almost irresponsible not to. So I just want to encourage you on this tip to think about how you can put out more good vibes. Feed the feed smiles in 2025. And I really feel you'll be handsomely rewarded, right? Brands that are aspirational and put out good vibes are going to win big time this year and moving forward. All right, 14 is to copy genius. I want you right now just to think for a second. What are some of your favorite brands? What is your favorite brand, right? What do you love most about that brand? Do you check out their Instagram 7 times a day? Do you watch their YouTube videos? Do you go to your website? What's your favorite brand? I'll tell you a couple of mine. I love Red Bull. I know it's terrible for your teeth. I don't drink it much, but the brand itself is incredible, right? How they invest in content, how they not just sponsor teams, but they own teams and events. It is amazing how Red Bull handles their marketing and branding, and I love visiting their website and consuming their content. Purple Mattresses branding is amazing. Their Instagram, the continuity with the color palette. Every one of their YouTube videos feels like a viral video. It's amazing. Lululemon, great content, inspirational stuff, right? Virgin from Richard Branson, awesome. Lavazza coffee shop, amazing vibes, great branding. I mean, Technogym, I'm just telling you some of my favorite brands in terms of like their content, their website, how they focus on conversion rate optimization, their paid search. Copy genius. I want you to figure out, where do you gravitate to? What are your favorite brands? And talk with your marketing person, talk with your team, talk with your graphic designer, assuming you have one, and say, how do we, I love the logo, the font here. Can we do something with that here, right? Look at the power of color, right? Copy genius. If you want to exude luxury, wisdom, and dignity, maybe you want a little more purple into your office color palette, right? What brands out there are using colors that you want to feel like? Is it a spa? Is it a service? Is it a product? Copy genius. Don't feel like you got to reinvent the wheel every time you want to come up with a new campaign, a new logo, or a new website. By the way, you can copy genius in dentistry. Right? If one of your peers or somebody you met at a conference has the most amazing website, share it with your website company and say, wow, the way they have their before and after pictures here are amazing, right? We love getting feedback for examples from clients. We have one client that shares so many cool ideas from Instagram with their favorite posts, like stuff I've never seen before. I'm like, this is genius. Not only do we do that for the office, but we have also more ideas and answers now for our other clients, right? So sharing feedback and your taste and your interest with who's ever posting in your social and handling your marketing, really, really important, right? So I encourage you to copy genius. What are your aspirational favorite brands? Write it down, remember things, and try to bring some of that genius into your own practice. All right, 15, become a content machine. Gosh, we love getting off content from offices all the time. And I want you to try to get in the mind frame of like being cognizant of micro moments, opportunities at your practice, right? Whether you're, meeting Tony Robbins at a conference, some client just recently sent us pictures of him or her and her husband meeting Tony Robbins, stuff like that. Patient of the day photos. If one of your favorite patients brings you cookies from a local bakery, that's a content opportunity. Not only to thank your patient, but to tag the local bakery and maybe share that there are sugar-free options, right? If one of your patients is visiting you or you're having dinner with a patient that you've been seeing for 50 years, that's a content opportunity. If you live near the beach or you're on holiday, vacation, watching the sunset, that's content. Happy birthday pictures, getting an award, celebrating fun food holidays is great. And by the way, when you're celebrating fun food holidays, don't just tell people it's National Pancake Day, no one cares. Go celebrate National Pancake Day and take a picture of you actually celebrating National Pancake Day. That's the hack. That's the key, is actually celebrating it, okay? Other holidays like National Dentist Day, National Toothache Day, World Oral Health Day, these are all almost irresponsible not to celebrate. The good thing is our app, Dental Year, which is going through some great updates right now and improvements, which will be rolled out hopefully by the time you listen or watch this, has all the daily holidays and food holidays and ideas. And then once again, that's Dental Year. But become a content machine in 2025. The goal for most offices should be one unique piece of content per week. Figure 4 a month, right? So hopefully someone else is posting way more for you on social media. But if you get one unique piece of content a week, that alone is going to be really huge. You're going to be able to show your personality. You'll be more trustworthy. And also, you'll have way more conversion with new patients in 2025. All right, moving into number 16, and this is to get a Google 360 virtual tour. So Google has driven around with these cars for years around locations around the world and captured exterior locations of businesses. You want to have a Google 360 done inside your office, virtually. So important. And we're doing these now for offices. Our DPs have these special 360 cameras, but you could just hire a trusted local pro that has the ability to do a Google 360 virtual tour. If you hire a trusted pro, they'll put it up in your listing, but also you want to embed this Google 360 virtual tour on your website. This alone is one of the top 5 most powerful SEO moves of all time. Not only does Google want local businesses showing a virtual tour, virtual experience, but patients want to look inside of an office before they book. Just like some people want to see the inside of a hotel room before they book, or a restaurant before they book a reservation, a lot of people want to see the inside of an office. Especially if you have a beautiful office, show it off. So a Google 360 virtual tour is really, really important. If you don't have one, make sure you schedule one in early 2025 and get one at your office. It is so important to do, and we highly recommend this. All right, number 17, a fun one. Do live Q&A sessions, right? So going live, like I talked about earlier in 2025, is going to be huge. And maybe you want to have a Wellness Wednesday live session, or maybe every Wednesday for a half hour, you go live on social media, right? And you answer oral health questions from people that have submitted questions over the month or in real time. Going live is the ultimate hack to get more reach, engagement, and conversions on social media. Now, just be sure when you go live that you're comfortable going live. You're live, so make sure you're very careful and cognizant of what you say. Make sure you have good audio and video quality, and make sure also that you're on a strong Wi-Fi connection. Whenever you go live, you want to make sure it's really fast and renders fast and a smooth experience for viewers. So make sure you're on the Wi-Fi at the office that's fast, and do Q&A, right? And promote it beforehand so you get some people checking in and watching it. By the way, after you go live, you could publish that and share it as a post so it stays in your timeline. You could also extract that video, download it, and turn that into micro content, pieces of content with Opus again. You could optimize that video and upload it to YouTube and share on your website, which is great educational type of content. And so edutainment, right? Educational and entertainment together. So have fun, but also educating people. Edutainment is a huge theme in 2025. So doing these live Q&A sessions at your practice is a great way to show personality, engage with existing patients and new patients, and really share your clinical expertise with your followers. All righty, 18 is to create a patient wall of fame. Now, assuming you have some amazing before and after sets of pictures, which I'm sure you do, and you have the release form signed and you're allowed to use these, having a patient wall of fame is so important. It's so cool. Showcase throughout your office the beautiful smile transformations you've done over the years. And then under those pictures, put the service they had done, right? Porcelain veneers, implants, Invisalign, whatever it is that you've done for the patients. And it's great vibes, people smiling, you're showing off your work, but also a lot of your existing patients that are walking through the halls of your practice are going to stop and look and go, wow, what a beautiful smile. Doc, what do you think? Can you give me something closer? I know I've only come in for a couple cleanings, but what other services do you do? Are they facial aesthetics? Is it Botox? So showing off the amazing transformations and work you're doing for your patients is so important. And by the way, not only can you just show these in the office, but you could repurpose that content, take pictures of your patient wall of fame, and show those across social media and your website as well. So as long as you got release form signed, I feel that having a patient wall of fame is an absolute must at offices, especially ones that are interested in doing more cosmetic dentistry in 2025 and beyond. All righty, number 19 is to tap into micro influencers. You'd be surprised how many of your patients I would consider micro influencers. And this might be a local chef, or maybe a performer, or an entrepreneur, or anyone with 10,000 followers on social media, TikTok, Instagram, Facebook, whatever. It doesn't have to be like The Rock. Okay, so a lot of you probably have micro influencers, and so be aware of who your patients are. If you know someone's got a big following, open up that discussion for what that would look like at your office. Now, we're going to do future content episodes about how to avoid any HIPAA violations and anti-kickback laws, but as long as in your state you're doing this appropriately and properly, tapping into micro influencers at your office and having them craft content at your office or with you and share on social media will be a huge driver of reach and engagement and hopefully conversions for new patients. So be aware of that. And we're going to be crafting, like I said, a lot of content moving forward on how to handle micro influencers and what that would look like. But start thinking about that. Maybe you have some patients in mind and how to introduce that dialogue and conversation with them to see if in 2025 they want to become one of your office's micro influencers. All righty, number 20 is to create a referral engine. Listen, your patients love you. They would be happy to share your office with their friends and family. You just have to ask. So we feel like the one layup that a lot of offices aren't using is a simple referral sign in your reception area, right? All the sign has to say is, the highest compliment our patients can give is the referral of their friends and family. Thank you for your trust, with a nice little picture of your team, your logo, maybe in a little 8x10 glass frame, and a QR code that links back to maybe a referral page on your website, which would be great so you can track this. Having the actual signage there is so important. So when people are coming or going, they go, you know what? I want to refer you guys. I love you. How else do I do this? And also having your team members accountable for asking for referrals is important. Really asking for them is great. And you could skew into a little bit more of like refer patients get entered into a chance to win a prize. We'll talk about some things in a minute here, but just by simply putting out signage in the reception area, maybe in the operatories, and asking, you should really increase your referrals in 2025 and beyond. So I highly recommend it. 21 is to monitor your forms, DMs, and leads. So I wanted to crunch all these into one tip. Each of these could be its own and be 1, 2, and 3. Actually, they're so important. But let me just explain what I mean. So monitor your forms, your website forms. So a lot of websites are built on WordPress. Unfortunately, a lot of all offices also use Outlook. Now, if you're using Outlook, sometimes if you change the login details or who knows what happens, the form submissions through your website might get blocked as spam and your front desk is not getting them. So please send a test through your website, a pretend name, and ask your front desk person who's ever checking these, what was the name I just sent? Because even though your email is working, right? Your emails are working fine. A lot of website form submissions might not go through and they might end up in your spam folder or blocked. So we recommend testing these every once in a while because a website company will see like a green dot, it went through, but once again, because of Outlook, it might get blocked. So always check that your funnels are working and you're getting messages along with your DMs, right? Instagram, Facebook, LinkedIn messaging. A lot of people reach through certain other funnels, other vehicles for a new patient experience, not just a phone call. So make sure you're checking these. Really, really important to make sure you don't have any leakage and you're capturing every lead. Now, speaking of leads, okay, every office, you're obviously monitoring your new patient numbers, hopefully, right? Sources of new patients, so important. Internet, referral, Google, blah, blah, blah. All these things, really important to figure out your new patient numbers. So important. But a huge statistic to also monitor in 2025 is your new patient leads. Leads, yes, leads. So not only figuring out your new patient numbers, but how many leads did you get? So if you had 40 new patients last month, how many leads was it? Was it 110 leads? And you want to track the leads for a couple reasons. First off, you want accountability from the team or the front desk who's ever handling these leads of who's touching the leads, who's following up to the leads. So if Monday morning at 10 a.m., if Tom so-and-so leaves a message, and that's now a lead, but you play phone tag with Tom, and a week later there's been no booking from Tom, how do you keep track of who's calling Tom? Where's Tom? Where's Tom? Did you call Tom? Did you text Tom? Is he coming in? Did he move? If you're not tracking these leads, either on a spreadsheet or on a CRM, we're providing a custom CRM for our clients now, so feel free to inquire about that. But if you're not tracking these leads, how do you know why they didn't book? Or how do you know that they haven't booked yet, right? So it's really important. So on our strategy calls now with clients, we want to know also the leads amount, because before I talked about conversion rate optimization, that's the percentage on the website. There's another layer of conversion rate optimization is once the lead comes through, what's your conversion rate on that? Right? Are a lot of people not booking because you don't take their insurance or because no one's answering the messaging or a lot of reasons. And so we have found just by tracking the leads, you as the owner, if you're listening right now, you could just follow up and go, oh, wow, like you could look at the leads and say, wow, healthy marketing, or why are we only getting a 50% conversion rate or whatever it may be? And then also, most importantly, so there's accountability. So if a lead comes through and you're paying all this money and spending all this time and creativity on your marketing, what's happening to the leads? Because odds are a lot of people just aren't like calling and right away booking. There is a little bit of friction, missed opportunities, back and forth, and you have to have a system in place to make sure you're capturing, monitoring, and converting on those leads as much as possible. Really, really, really important moving forward. And last thing I'll say about this is have a big picture overview of your analytics and everything going on with your marketing. While you don't need to be in the weeds daily with your Google Ads as the practice owner, have an understanding of roughly what your traffic is on a month-to-month basis, what your new patients look like, what your new patient leads. So then you could look moving forward 30, 60, 90 days out and look at the trends and look at the numbers and look at the revenues so you can give feedback and answers and strategize together with who's ever handling your marketing to ensure you have the most success moving forward. Really, really important to do all these things in 2025 and beyond. Alrighty, 22 is to build your own YouTube channel. As I said before, Google owns YouTube. YouTube is the second largest search engine in the world, and video is considered the heaviest form of multimedia content. If you have a lot of video content out there, but it's sitting on a personal YouTube channel, or maybe the person who filmed it for you, it's on their YouTube channel. You do not want your video content on some agencies or some director of photography's YouTube channel. You want it on your dental practice's own YouTube channel. Now, on a side note, make sure you always remember and retain your login details to YouTube, because if you lose those, it's like Fort Knox getting access to your YouTube channel. So make sure you always have access to it, and make sure it's a professional YouTube channel, an account that's synced with your office, right? That is your practice name, logo, artwork, indexes, your website, and all the video uploads are associated with your YouTube channel. Now, once again, voice search optimization is here. It is bonkers how many searches are going to be happening for your practice on voice search, also with ChatGPT. And I just want to reiterate again, I feel at this point, now I can't predict the future. I don't know for sure, because AI is obviously fairly new and, no one knows for sure. But I would say my best guess right now moving forward is if we would look back and say, which channel or which piece of content was the most important for an office to own their area and get tremendous amounts of new patients moving forward, I think without question, now it's not even close, it would be YouTube. That's for sure. And I also want to encourage you to look at YouTube as how-to, meaning educate patients, bring in that edutainment vibe. So you're educating people with a little bit of entertainment and personality. Bring some personality, share stories, tell anecdotes about cases, experiences, services, all these things you're doing at the practice, and make your channel really engaging. And don't, when you're doing this content, don't think about analytics or data. Think about the viewer. Think about crafting content that you know your audience would care about and smile about or learn about. Really focus on the content on your channel, the value you're providing for your audience. That's going to be key. And once again, I just want to reiterate and focus on this again. Videos that also include stories and anecdotes. So if you're doing a video on dental veneers, yes, you could tell us about the dental veneers procedure and how it works clinically, but also tell us about that patient that you put veneers on recently. Talk about that patient's life. What did the patient look like, feel like, do before the veneers? Give us that story. Obviously, within HIPAA, reasons, you don't want to divulge too much of their name, but tell us a story and anecdotes around the veneers. That type of content is going to be gold in 2025 and beyond. Alrighty, number 23, a little bit of old school stuff, but you got to keep it in here. Run social media contests. I would say a quarterly social media contest would be great. Some offices have one always going. Social media contests are great for engagement. Now, the two that I love most are like a guessing contest where you could guess. So you put maybe a bunch of floss dispensers in a glass jar and ask people to guess, right? Those are really cool because it takes 2 seconds for someone to put in a number, a random number, as opposed to writing a whole dissertation. And so those are fun. When you're taking that picture, take a nice picture of the glass jar with your logo in the background or showing off an operatory. That's great. So guessing and naming contests are good. So let's say you have a new fish tank and a fish at the office, or a teddy bear brushing its teeth. Ask people to give it a name. So naming suggestions are good. And maybe whichever name gets the most likes wins an electronic toothbrush. So social media contests are great. Also, one of our favorites of all time is the travel brush and win contest. So if you put on a social media post and a sign at the offices, it says, on your summer holiday, take a picture of yourself brushing your teeth and tag us on social media. Whichever post we think is most, creative, or whichever one gets the most likes, you win an electric toothbrush. This is the most fun contest we see. We see content come in from around the world. One office a while back, this wonderful patient, took a picture of herself brushing her teeth in the Alps of Switzerland. Her practice is in Southern California. She tags the office brushing her teeth from the Alps of Switzerland. Great picture. She didn't win the contest. Some dude who was brushing his teeth on a surfboard in Hawaii won. Epic pick, but I sure hope they gave that nice woman a prize anyway. But have fun this year with some social media contests. They're fun, they're engaging, and they bring a lot of personality to your dental marketing. All righty, number 24. This could be number one. It might be, it should have been number one, maybe. No, I'm just kidding. We'll keep it at 24. But it is answer the phone with a smile. I just want to say, I can't believe still I'll call an office. It could be Tuesday at 2:15 p.m. and I'm getting voicemail. I can't understand it. I don't understand how practice management consultants don't obsess about this more also. If all you do right now is make sure you're answering the phone, you're good. Like that alone is going to like fix a lot of leakage and convert more patients. Especially if you're running Google ads and have click to call ads out there, you should be getting so many calls. Now, if you have someone in your team to always answer the phone, that's great. But we know how that works. You get busy with the patient, you're checking someone out, you don't want to get disturbed on the weekend. Have a good quality call answering service. Answer feed, right? We love Smith AI, but there's a lot of great services out there. Obviously, a lot of offices are going to be using AI call agents right now to have AI answer, which would be great. But at least you're capturing it. But right now, if you could have a human answering all of your calls, huge. Now, I understand the hesitation with having a call service is you don't want a massive bill every month for these calls. Get it? Fair enough. Then just use a new patient hotline for that call service, right? You cannot be missing new patient calls, especially during the workday normal hours, right? A lot of patients aren't just booking, 9 to 5, Monday through Thursday. So at lunch or in the evenings and weekends, a lot of people are calling an office to book. Statistics show that offices that use online scheduling, 87% of those people book after hours. So if people are booking online after hours, clearly they might be calling after hours as well. So just by having the phone answered, I feel that's a huge fix for most marketing. As long as everything else is cranking on the website, the ads and the creative and social proof and ranking and all that, your phone should be going bonkers, hopefully. And so just by answering the phone every call, every time it rings with a smile is going to be a game changer for you in 2025 and beyond. All right. And 25 is to find your chocolate chip cookie. Now, have you ever been to the DoubleTree hotels? Well, if you haven't, it's pretty cool. But my favorite thing about the hotel is every time you check in, they give you a warm chocolate chip cookie. It's such a nice little gift. And there's a lot of business travelers that literally book at the DoubleTree over any other hotel, not based on rate or location. It's based on the chocolate chip cookie. It's crazy, right? And what is it, 3 cents for a cookie, whatever it cost them? It's like the greatest word of mouth marketing idea in the history of hotels, right? We all love the Ritz-Carlton, obviously that whole mentality and vibe of like anticipatory service, incredible. We've done some podcasts on the Ritz before. That's epic. But the DoubleTree cookie is like any office, any business could come up with your own chocolate chip cookie. So I want to encourage and challenge each of your teams for 2025 to come up with your own chocolate chip cookie. What is it that makes your practice so unique and gets your patients talking about your practice and sharing your office with friends and family for years to come? Now, I also want to talk about the Ritz-Carlton for a second because I just mentioned that, and we're in the hotel vibe, so why not? So DoubleTree cookies, that's great. But I also want to encourage you to have the Ritz-Carlton mentality when it comes to customer service and patient care, because that's the world we're living in. Forget about the marketing for a second. If you provide your patients with incredible experiences and memories and a unique patient experience and just wow them, they're going to tell their friends and family. So as an example, years ago, there was a family vacationing in Florida at one of the Ritz-Carltons. And when they got home, they realized that their son left their teddy bear at the Ritz-Carlton resort. So they lived on the East Coast. The father called the hotel down in Florida, the Ritz-Carlton, and said, listen, I know this sounds crazy. You probably can't find it, but our son left his teddy bear, Joshie, at the hotel. Is there any way you could at least look? The kid's going crazy. So not only did the Ritz-Carlton find Joshie, the teddy bear, they proceeded to take pictures of Joshie playing golf, getting a massage, laying out at the pool, enjoying the resort. And they sent the teddy bear back to the family. Kid was happy. And obviously it was a beautiful story. And by the way, the Ritz-Carlton got millions of dollars in free PR and exposure from this because there's been presentations on this and press releases and news stories all about this one customer satisfaction experience. So it's a beautiful story to kind of elevate everyone's idea on what it takes to be exceptional in today's marketplace, right? A lot of hotels have been like, yeah, like we don't care about the teddy bear or hung up or wouldn't have taken a second to take a picture. But we all have these opportunities, especially with practices, these micro moments with new patients and existing patients to bring that care, warmth, and love on a regular basis. And if you do that, you'll have an incredible 2025, not only with new patient success, but practice profitability and joy and happiness with your team, hopefully. So you guys, thank you so much for tuning in to this long episode. I so appreciate it. Wishing everyone a beautiful year. If you're interested in our services at Dentainment, we're a full-service bespoke digital marketing agency. Feel free to visit our website and book a digital footprint consultation anytime. And thanks again for tuning in. If you follow any, if not all of these recommendations, you without question have more success in 2025, a ton of new patients, but most importantly, you'll be a Wizard of Buzz.